Yo, what up, Mind Melters? It's Eric.
And Candra, hello. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, we're coming to you from Bayview, Idaho, up north.
Yeah, we just want to say that we really appreciate you guys listening. It means a lot to us having people come up to me at work and saying that they listened and they enjoyed it just was really cool. So we appreciate you for listening all the way through. That's super cool.
Yeah, sorry, it's been a little bit longer than we anticipated. We really wanted to record the episode on Saturday, but that is what we're going to be doing from now on. Is every Saturday we're going to be recording episodes. This was kind of a fluke. I've been really busy with work and some other things.
Yeah,
so
your tummy hasn't been feeling very good, so.
Yeah, so I apologize for the long-winded wait, but we're here now, and that's all that matters. So how's your week been, Candra?
Fine.
Oh yeah, what'd you do?
I worked.
What else did you do?
I went for a jog, and yeah, nothing crazy.
You didn't do anything crazy. You went on a crazy night on Friday. What are you talking about?
I did have a crazy night on Friday. Yeah, I went and watched my boss's wife dance downtown at this cute little venue in Coeur d'Alene called the White House. And I was with my homegirl, and she was like blacked out drunk, so I was taking care of that. Love her, but
it happens.
It was just a hysterical night. We had a lot of fun.
Sometimes you gotta do that though. Sometimes you gotta get a little blacked out so that you get a little, lit up the next day.
Yeah, and I was super hungover the next day, which I haven't been in a while. But
yeah, how much did you drink?
Not very much, I don't think. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
it was more so the gin towards the end of the night that I was sipping on before
gin.
You
were drinking gin?
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Well, okay, like that's
Paul
what I said.
Paul told me that, and I thought he was full of shit.
No, dude, I met this girl named. I met that
landscaper,
this really cool girl, and we were like talking, and we kind of were bonding over like, oh, she used to know Bruno. I'll tell you later.
You said that she was a landscaper?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she's probably been around pine trees too much because that's what that shit tastes like.
She drinks it every day. Anyway, she's like,
She drinks it every day?
Well, okay, maybe I shouldn't say every day.
That is insanity.
It's the only thing she drinks, and she drinks quite often, as in like maybe weekends, maybe some weekdays.
Oh my God. Sipping on a pine tree every day just sounds terrible to me.
She's like, you want some gin? I'm like, nah, dude, I don't like gin. She's like, you'll like my gin. And I'm like, all right. And so I had a sip.
She put on a Snoop Dogg track?
No, but I liked it.
Well, what did she have with it?
I don't know. I didn't ask her.
Was it just straight gin?
No. It was other things. But it didn't taste like gin.
Other things? Like what, date rape drugs or something? Didn't you tell me that she had a short haircut?
No.
Oh.
I didn't say that. Stop it. Anyways.
All right. So, well, that's good though. It's cool that
it was fun. The music
it looked like a blacklight party.
Well, the dance performance was, yeah, she was body painted, and so she glowed in the dark.
That's cool that Coeur d'Alene has like a little bit.
It's tiny. There. they have it's different of a scene, but it's
not. I wouldn't call it a scene either.
Well, I just mean the community than what fuck ever you want to call it. The art community. Oh, sorry, that's my phone.
Yeah.
It's different than what we're used to, but it's super cute, and I liked it. And there was really good music all night, so
that's
I was
awesome.
like dope, and I met some really cool people.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Candra and I have been living up here for 2 years, and when we moved up here, we moved from a situation where we were playing music at least 2 to 3 nights a week.
We were traveling every weekend.
Traveling, and I was, a club promoter, so I was throwing shows all the time. And
before that,
And then we moved up here, and I have literally not gone out once.
Well, a couple times, but...
Wait, when? Oh, yeah, I guess, a couple times in Spokane, that's true.
Well, yeah, there's that, but I mean, I don't know, Boise. But anyways, it doesn't matter.
I just mean in Coeur d'Alene.
Very few. Oh, yeah, no, in Coeur d'Alene.
In Coeur d'Alene, in Coeur d'Alene, I really
I think that was my first time going out in Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah, totally.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Well, it's just I haven't really wanted to taste that blood, you know, because it's just such a small area.
That's true.
Yeah, but so. That's cool though, and I did take on a lot of extra work, and so that's what I've been doing the last few weeks. I've been doing side jobs and really focused on that. But I'm really excited to announce that I am done with my second side job, and I'm gonna take a break from.
Oh, you finished?
Well, I mean, I'll be finished on Saturday,
oh, I see.
So I'm almost
done. But after
done.
that, you're done, yeah.
Yeah, and when I'm done with that, I'm going to commit my time pretty heavily to this. When
The
I'm not
podcast
working,
will be your side job.
yeah, the podcast is going to be a lot more of my focus, and that and bow hunting, because
Some music.
yeah, music, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, but definitely a lot more of this than that, if you know what I'm saying.
So this episode is episode 3. We'll be talking about the Rothschilds. I hate saying their name.
Yeah, Kendra
It's
really struggles with that
I
one.
have to think about it really hard. I think there's just too many consonants in a row. And then, like, if I'm making it plural, it's even harder. Rothschilds. I don't understand how to do it
You could just call
smoothly.
them Red Badge or Red Shield.
Red Shield.
Red Shield, because that's what it stands for.
I might.
Yeah, that's what Alex Jones did in that interview, or whatever you want to call it.
Rothschilds. I feel like I just need like a German accent.
Yeah,
It's awful,
maybe.
awful accent.
Yeah, that could be it.
But
So,
you want to kick us off?
yeah, I'll start us out. So, the Rothschild family has been the, like the main focus of a lot of conspiracy theories over the years. I'm going to admit right off the bat, I used to be heavy conspiracy theorist. Like, thought everything was a fucking conspiracy. Not like that anymore. I got a little bit more sensible. So any conspiracy theorists that are, tuning in, you might find this to be really interesting, because I used to totally think that these were like the people running the world, and they are. I don't want you to think that I'm not going that direction, but I've done a lot of research on them. I've definitely spent a lot of nights obsessing over what their whole history is and things like that. I mean, mostly like 3 or 4 years ago, so it's been a while since I've jumped really into this, so it was kind of fun to actually like look at it from a more nuanced perspective, and just kind of look at it more logical, and really look at the history and how things developed, rather than just jumping to like where the world is now, where the banking system is now, all that. So that being said, I just kind of wanted to go through a quick timeline of how the family got started and established and into the banking industry, because that's kind of what we had covered last week, was the Federal Reserve. If you haven't listened to that episode, maybe jump back into that. But for now, we're going to jump into the Rothschild family. So I just want to start off at the beginning. Mayer Rothschild, he was kind of the beginning of the story.
Founder.
Well, no, he wasn't a founder, but
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. He was the father of the 5.
Yeah,
that was like the original Rothschilds.
Yeah.
They call him the founder. Mayer, right? Mayer Amschel.
Yeah.
Rothschild?
Well, there's 2 though. There's a Mayer Senior and a Mayer Junior.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Mayer Junior's father, Mayer Senior. No, wait. I'm so sorry. This is the main character. My bad. So Mayer Rothschild was born into a family with 30 family members living in one house, and that was how they got the name Rothschild. Rothschild stands for Red Shield, and that was because on the top of their door they had a red shield. And it's kind of interesting. His parents both died at age 12, and
When he was 12?
well, yeah, his mother died a year before his father, and his father died when he was 12. So
Okay.
yeah. So when he was 12 years old, he was put into foster care, and like didn't really know what to do. I mean, this is the crazy thing about back then, is if you're 12 years old and your parents are dead, you're able to kind of fend for yourself back then. It's not like our current system where you have to be enrolled in education and things like that. So his parents died at the age of 12. By the age of 13, he decided to go into banking and interned at a bank. And then by the age of 19, he returned to Frankfurt, which was where he was originally from. And that's where he continued to be a banker. And he was mostly known for trading in coins and jewels. But by 1769, he was given the title Crown Agent. So a lot of the kings and queens at the time were known to take loans and sell him their jewels. And in 1770, he was married and went on to have 10 children, which is a shitload. I could not imagine having 10 children, even as a banker.
Yeah, that's kind of what they did.
Yeah,
back then.
10 fucking kids. The only place I know that still has 10 kids is Utah. So, yeah, so five boys, 5 girls, and that's also fucking crazy. Could you imagine having 10 kids, but 5 of them are boys and 5 of them are girls?
What do you mean? I mean, there's still 10 of them. That's
I
still a
know.
lot.
I don't know. It's like perfectly split down the middle.
Yeah,
It just,
I
I don't
see.
know. Sounds like a lot of work. A lot more work than I'm willing to give.
Yeah,
But
but I mean, back then, like, if you didn't have that many kids to like help you with stuff, like whether it was farming or like
right, or
taking over
banking.
banking, yeah. I mean, you kind
Yeah.
it that was
No,
it's
this is
good for
this is a
business
good
to have
plan.
kids.
This is a good plan because
Yeah.
his whole thing was he had 5 boys and he was able to. I'm sure that he was shooting loads and thinking, you know what, I got a 50% chance on having 5 boys, and that or maybe I don't even know if that's a 50% chance, but he had a chance of having 50% boys, and damn it, he shot loads until he did, and he sent his 5 boys to 5 different regions of Europe to start off their own sectors of the bank.
So strategically planned.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a smart dude. I mean, to go from being known as, dirt poor,
Pull that a little closer, baby.
from being known as being dirt poor, to going into the banking and becoming like the jewel agent for the crown. That's awesome and unheard of. So he sent his 5 boys out to different areas in Europe, and throughout this time the family started making a lot of wealth primarily by funding conflicts. So that's something that we're going to really hear a lot about with the Rothschild, is they're kind of known for being able to fund wars.
They were there. They were ready. They were wanting it.
Yeah, they wanted I don't know if they wanted the wars. I think they just wanted the money,
Yes.
which I guess they wanted the
Same-
wars.
same thing.
Yeah. So, before his death in 1812, Mayer set very direct and specific rules on keeping the wealth in the family. And in order to accumulate the maximum wealth, one of the main rules was that they must marry other family members, such as cousins and uncles. One of the daughters was married to an uncle. And they also must divide their wealth up into 3 main assets, which is precious metals, jewels, real estate, and stocks and bonds. So those were kind of their main like rules, I guess, that he set for his family.
So gross.
Yeah, but I mean, back then that was kind of the norm,
It was super normal.
Yeah, and
It's gross, but I mean, dude,
yeah.
that's probably a huge reason why they've been able to maintain their wealth and
Yeah.
keep it in the family. And,
yeah,
you know,
it's really cool. I mean, it's not cool that they're marrying their cousins, but it's cool that they were able to keep the fucking money. I mean, the way that they did their division of assets, like every 401k holder in the world wishes that they had someone to do this for them.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a really smart. Just every aspect of it was really smart. And funding conflicts, like people have been fighting each other since the dawn of time. So that's, it's a good way to make money. I don't know.
I don't know. I still feel like morally it's a little.
Dude, Europeans don't have morals. What the fuck? They conquered the entire world. Morals, like can you name one European with morals besides maybe like Russell fucking Brand?
I guess that's my point.
Yeah.
It's just not very cool.
Yeah, there's no Europeans with morals. All right, I'm full
That's
European.
not true.
I'm like full European. No fucking morals. Okay.
Between like a 50-year period, though, 36 of the males married. 30 out of the 36 males married their cousins. 30 out of the 36.
They probably
That's
wanted
insane.
a piece of that pie.
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
you would get more of that pie
Yeah,
when
if
you do that.
I mean,
'Cause
what are you
when
gonna
marry
go
someone
do?
else,
Marry like a goat milker?
you basically split
Yeah.
every time you marry. So it's
Yeah.
like you're doubling almost
Yeah.
by
Well,
intermarrying.
exactly. And I mean, that's why in a lot of cultures, like, in hunter-gatherer eras, like there's a lot of cultures in Asia where like the brothers would marry the same woman. So one woman would be shared between the brothers.
Oh yeah,
Because they didn't want the land to be divided between family members.
that's so weird.
Yeah, that was in like different parts of Asia and stuff like that. But that's for another day. So they, as I said before, there were 5 sons that kind of split up between all these different areas in Europe, and the most successful of all the children was Nathan Rothschild. You might know him because he owns the business N.M. Rothschilds Inc., which is still around today, actually. Um, he did. He was successful in many ways. He took lead in international finance by communicating with siblings, and he did this by pigeons.
What?
Yeah, he did this by fucking birds.
Like actual pigeons?
Actual messenger
No.
pigeons. Yeah, that's how he communicated with his like.
I didn't know
family
that was a
members.
real thing. They actually flew pigeons?
Oh yeah, yep.
What?
Yeah, dude. That's like, I mean, people still do that shit. Pigeons
Mind
are-
blown.
Really?
Yeah,
That's weird. That
kind
you've
of.
never heard of a messenger pigeon?
I mean, of course I've heard of a messenger pigeon. I just feel like maybe it was in, like a cartoon or something. I don't
No.
know. I didn't
Yeah,
know that
no.
actually happened.
No, these fucking guys. They were like, figuring out.
So they just trained
Lungs,
pigeons.
yeah.
Anyways, sorry, off
Yeah,
topic.
they were. No, it's not really off topic. It is very strange. I can't
It's
imagine.
fucking
I mean,
weird.
hey, you got to do what you got to do. Pigeons are a hell of a lot cheaper than employees too.
I guess they're really smart.
Yeah, so he became the main central banking in Europe, which is another thing that we kind of talked about is central banking in the last episode. So once again, if you haven't heard that, you might want to pause, go back, check that out. But he became the main central bank in Europe by brokering for the purchase for the king. So he would, help the king with purchases and loan out for the king, do things like that. He also rescued national banks and funding infrastructure like railroads, which led to the start of the big industrial revolution. That's a big deal,
Mm-hmm.
Basically because of N.M. Rothschild Incorporated, we have a lot of our technological advances that we have today. I mean, it was all a result of him. Well, he was a big part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And side note, I don't know if I really touched on this, but in my notes, so that I've got written down. But side note is that a lot of people believe that he was actually the main financier for the Rockefeller family and J.P. Morgan.
Oh.
So that's a big deal because a lot of people think J.P. Morgan and Rockefeller were these big innovators, but basically it's kind of like a undiscussed thing between the family members that N.M. Rothschild was really the reason that they got to the point that they ever got to.
Very interesting.
And that, yeah, he was the one that was really backing the whole J.P. Morgan Chase thing. And same with the Federal Reserve, because when the Federal Reserve opened, they did it with silent investors. There's no actual record of the people that invested into it, but they still control the interest of it. So we don't know if the Rothschild family owns the Federal Reserve, but it's very likely given, the history with them in banking and things like that. So
Yeah, it's likely.
Nathan moved to England in 1798. There he founded a textile jobbing biz with 20,000 euros, which that's about the equivalent of $1.9 million today. So he also began trading.
So back then, that was probably a lot.
Oh, yeah, that was a shitload. $1.9 million. I mean, it's a lot of money. He also began trading on the London Stock Exchange and eventually founded the bank that I just discussed, which is N.M. Rothschild. It's still currently active today. And like the other Rothschild bank, he would give loans of money to the government at times of war and crisis. A good popular example of him funding wars and crisis is the British troops during the Neapolitan Wars in 1811.
Waterloo.
Yep,
Right?
that's right.
So interesting. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So he also, so he funded the British troops during this war, but he also was like, I think Neapolitan.
Mastiff.
Yeah, I think
We have a mastiff.
we have a
We're obsessed
mastiff.
with mastiffs.
Yeah.
Anyways, Napoleon.
I think Napoleon. He's like, you know what? I think Napoleon needs some extra bills on this one too.
Secretly, though.
Secretly, so he rode over there on his horse or whatever the fuck, maybe his pigeon, and
He rode over on his pigeon.
yeah, and told Napoleon, look, I'm funding the British, but I have unlimited resources, and basically if you want to even have a fighting chance at this conflict, we're going to need to give you money, because there's no way that you're going to be able to compete against them, because I know how much money they have backing them. And so he, got Napoleon to sign on board. Obviously, Napoleon was probably a little hesitant. But he got Napoleon to sign on, and then he was able to, loan money to both sides of this war. So no matter who won or lost, he was gaining. But not only did he do that.
Here's the crazy part.
Yeah. He decided that he was going to send over someone to watch what was going on with the conflict and then have them come back with the information. So his guy that he had working for him is watching the fight. He realizes that the British are winning, comes back and tells him. And Nathan is like, okay, we'll let people know. So he kind of said some stuff to people, but they didn't really take his word for it. And so then he said that he was going to basically manipulate this because they weren't listening to him. So he told them, you know what? I think they're losing. And he starts spreading rumors of undertone around, just like under his breath. Yeah, the British are losing, and I'm selling off all my assets from Britain because they're not going to be a country anymore. So there's no reason to have money tied up in their financial system. So he started selling off all of his stocks and bonds, and everybody else is like, holy shit, Rothschild is selling off all of his stocks and bonds. I guess we'll do that too, because he was such a huge figurehead in that area. So they started selling off their stocks and bonds, and the stock market is just tanking, right? Well, secretly, he decides to start buying these up because he knows that Britain's actually winning.
Dirt cheap.
For dirt cheap. Yeah, I mean, the stock market tanked. It's like in 2008, the people that were buying stocks back then. And he's got, unlimited resources. The stock market is nothing. The Bank of England is dead. And so he just buys everything he can. And then 2 days later, they get news that Britain won the war. They hear the trumpets sound, and everybody's like, oh shit. And he's just kicked back and okay, well, I have controlling interest in this country now. He literally bought enough of the Bank of England's assets to be a controlling interest shareholder. That means over 50% of the bank he owned of the Bank of England. And the country is still paying him back to this day.
To this day.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Can you imagine that? I mean, literally.
What a dick.
Well, not him. They're paying the
His
family. The Rothschild, the NM Rothschild Corporation.
Yeah.
But
that's crazy.
It's fucking crazy.
He basically sets it up.
Brilliant. That's brilliant.
It's evil genius.
Well, we might disagree on that one.
Eric doesn't believe in evil, but
I don't believe in evil.
He had to have known
it's very opportunistic.
These families and these people who've had their whole life savings, gone. Some of these people lost pretty much everything they had. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. So, this is really interesting though, because you get a look at this family, and this all happened in less than 50 years. They were able to take this, little tiny banking family and turn it into a dynasty and control all of England. And they obviously value their family so much that they were able to keep the wealth in the family and
marry your cousins.
Well, they do incredible things now.
I love David Rothschild.
I love a lot of those family members. They're all philanthropists, they're very active in the art community, they all are doing some sort of activism for the most part. I think Jacob Rothschild's a little weird. He seems like the kind of uncle that might touch your cousin's leg, But so what's some interesting stuff that you found?
Looking.
this is just getting us to 1815, but what's some stuff that you found getting us to this point?
Well, David Day Rothschild, he let's see, what was it called? The plasticky boat that he made out of plastic water bottles or whatever. He sailed a boat out of
that's in the future. Did you find
anything? No,
anything?
that's in now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh.
Yeah, we're in 1815. Was there anything that you wanted to touch up on from back then?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was just making sure that there wasn't anything from back then.
Walter Rothschild owned some zebras and rode it on a carriage.
Oh yeah. That's
Talking to them
yeah,
like
that's pretty weird.
Yeah, he was a zoologist.
Yeah.
And he had some tame zebras.
Yeah. So, so I know that the Rothschild family, this is just getting us to 1815. The Rothschild family has been known to, I mean, if you look online in different Rothschild owned banks in the world, they literally own banks in like every country. I mean, it's crazy. Not literally every country, but at least every continent. And they have banks all over the world. It's insane.
What is it? Only 3 countries that don't
Well, no, I mean that's
excluded
different.
from that?
That's
oh,
different.
okay.
You're talking about centralized banking.
Oh, I am. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, I'm centralized banking doesn't necessarily need to be owned by the
Yeah.
Rothschild, but the Rothschild family does have their hands in a lot of central banks.
Yeah.
So, and we don't really know because centralized banking is such a
Yeah, we can't really.
shady, like
Yeah.
I don't want to say shady. It's just such
Shady's a good word.
Yeah, it's just such a it's kept under wraps. I mean, everything in centralized banking is just so mysterious, secretive and that's why it's so alluring to conspiracy theories, you know?
Oh, totally.
So, let's talk about some of those.
Oh, there's so many.
There's so many fucking
I
conspiracies.
think the most crazy one, and this is a complete theory, like there's actually no proof on this, is that Hitler was a Rothschild. Did you read that one?
No, I didn't read
crazy.
that. But
Yeah,
that,
his
no way.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, Jesus Christ. Some of these are so ridiculous. They were fucking Jewish.
I know.
They are Jewish. They weren't Jewish.
No, I know.
They
yeah.
are
Well,
Jewish.
no, some people believe though that the Rothschild were involved in the Holocaust.
Well, involved how? Because
Like they were a part of it.
like
I mean, like I don't think that one's like even close to being true. But
I haven't researched that one, unfortunately.
there's no proof behind it. It's all allegedly.
Yeah. Well, no shit. I mean,
But
that's
I mean,
the funny thing
truth-
about a lot of conspiracy theories is that a lot of them depend on illogical references.
Yeah.
Like,
It just sucks too, though, because there are real conspiracies that are actually true, and all
and I
the
would
silly
say,
ones.
well, and I would say that the Rothschilds are a part of real conspiracies
they
because when
definitely
you think
are.
of what a conspiracy is, by definition,
Yeah.
it's multiple people coming together to conspire to do something. And the Rothschild family conspired to start the Federal Reserve to do all that shit on the whatever the island was, Jekyll Island.
But the stuff that we can prove and that we know for sure,
That-
at least
yeah, that's
almost
one.
for sure, that is true, is to me just as interesting because it's just as crazy.
Well, and it is a conspiracy. I mean,
yeah.
the Jekyll Island thing was
But
damn
I'm
sure that was a
saying,
real conspiracy.
Like, they're just as interesting as the ones
that are
that aren't.
well, I would
probably
say even
not
more.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the ones that aren't true are just bullshit, and you're just wasting
Yeah.
your time. But people draw ridiculous claims. I mean, it's like I don't know if you know if you've ever heard of the what's the place that we drove to in California?
Oh yeah, Bohemian.
Bohemian Grove. It's like, damn, it's really interesting. Like,
Dude, it was creepy too.
Yeah.
It gave us the chills. Like I don't know if it was just us or
Yeah.
like the million signs that said no trespassing, get
Private
out,
property.
cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, like my heart was racing.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Oh, remember? And I drove over the line on
The
accident.
entrance. You drove
entrance.
into the yeah.
And we peeled out,
Like I pulled the fucking e-brake because we were in there.
and we were all freaked out. We're gonna get
Yeah.
followed.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about like Bohemian Grove, right? It's this crazy conspiracy where these people gather and sacrifice kids and all this shit, and it's like it's true. They do gather, and it is weird, right? It
And
is
the
weird.
videos are creepy.
Yeah, I mean, but you don't know.
You don't actually
You
know.
don't know.
And
the
just
thing
say
with
that
the
you
Rothschild-
know. To say that you're skeptical, I mean, please be.
Yeah. No,
Like,
I
definitely
I
do
mean,
that.
It's like, dude, there's weird shit in the world, and I would not be surprised by anything. I mean, when you find out about some of these child molestation things that go on,
Yeah.
you know, like some of the people that have been involved with these fucking like the railroad or the kids on the railroad or whatever. You
Are
know?
it relating to Bohemian?
No, no,
or
no.
just like
Yeah,
big kind
just
of
different conspiracies.
Yeah, people in
But
power taking advantage of.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And
yeah, that
so
one was. We should do a podcast on that.
on what?
The railroad kids.
I'm down. Yeah.
Railroad.
That's a good one. So one of the things is, and this is totally 100% true. The Rothschild family they did in the past have really weird parties where it was like
Yeah.
child sacrifice, like imitations.
Really?
They didn't actually do sacrifices, but it's like documented that they did like weird like sacrifice, like fake sacrifices and shit like that.
Weird.
But dude, okay, let's say that I'm a fucking trillionaire or whatever, you know?
That's because you're sick and twisted. I already know what you're about gonna say.
It would be fun to fuck with people like that. It totally would be. If it were me and I was a billionaire, I would play that role so goddamn hard. I would do all the symbols when I'm giving interviews and shit, you know, and like wink at the camera and just.
I believe you.
Creepy ass shit. You guys do not want to get me as a billionaire. I would fuck all of your minds up, just because I know it'd be funny. Like I would love to read all the conspiracy theories about me. You know, I always used to joke.
You haven't made it unless you
yeah.
have a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, that's
about
what I
you.
used to tell people. Like, whenever anybody would ask me, like, do you want to be a famous musician or something? I'd always be like, I just want to get to the point where I have a conspiracy about myself. That's all I want is a conspiracy. So who knows? Maybe someday after this podcast, I'll just keep on pushing how much I love the Rothschild family and the Rockefellers, and you motherfuckers will make one up.
What, do you just like the trickery? Is that what you're about?
I do.
You like the fun and excitement?
So let's diagnose this a little bit, because
let's diagnose you.
No, not me.
Oh,
the Rothschild family. Let's look at this. Okay. You got a guy who literally he lost his parents at 12, didn't have anything, lived with 30 family members, right? They're all broke as fuck. They were known.
And they're Jewish.
Yeah.
What?
What do you mean?
They weren't treated very well.
Oh, the Jews, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
And I mean, they were always running, and
and that
they had to be smart with their money.
Yeah, Jewish culture is and smart with jewels and things like that. Jewish culture is known to carry jewels because it's easy to barter with across state lines, because they were constantly being chased out of different cultures and things like that. So yeah, I see that. But so you're you come from a broken home, essentially. You don't have any money, and then you go into banking. And it's like your goal in life is just to have something. You know, you see the king and the queen, and you see their royalty, and you see how they're treated and how they're put up on a pedestal, essentially. And then you have this opportunity to learn a business, and you can see the weakness that is government policy, and you see the weakness in the financial system. And so you come up with a way that is strong, you know, and that's what centralized banking is. It's a way to tell the government that they can do whatever they want. They can have as much money as they want. All it does is fall on the taxpayers.
Yeah.
And
all it does.
But it's a genius idea for the guys up there.
For him.
Yeah. So, but I mean, and you come up with an idea, and you say, look, you know, the people need to pay taxes, right? They do. And this is a way that you can make things prosper and grow. And all you have to do is have them work and pay taxes. And we can continue with this revolution. I mean, that is what the Industrial Revolution essentially is. And like it or not, we live really fucking well. I mean, we, for the most part, there's obviously a lot of third world countries and stuff like that, but statistically they're getting better. And, you know, there's Africa. I can totally go on a rant for hours about how fucked Africa is and how much I hate the injustice that, you know, continent endures. But it's getting better. And a lot of the reason that these things are getting better is because of centralized banking. I hate to say it.
What do you mean?
I mean, fiat currency is a really good way to make things affordable to the public. if we didn't have fiat currency, you would never be able to buy a fucking house. You couldn't. You need that kind of inflation.
What about the people like in the Congo?
What about them?
You just said it's getting better.
Yeah, it's getting better. But I mean, like until we stop robbing them of their resources. I mean, that's the problem with the Congo is that for one, there's a lot of negative motivation behind keeping them down. As long as we can keep them down fighting each other for resources and blood diamonds and, minerals, because they have the most mineral rich continent that there is. I mean, as long as we can keep them down. But I mean, okay, let's look at what the Rothschilds, because, we're talking about the Rothschild. Let's look at what the Rothschild does with some of the countries in Africa. And this is absolutely documented. You can find legitimate documents on websites that they're a part of. Like if you go on to, I think it might be NM Rothschild, I'm not really sure, but there's several banks that the Rothschild family is a part of. And if you look into what their investments are, you can you can see them investing money into these small countries. And what they do, like the International Monetary Fund, things like that, what they do is they take and they they loan out, let's say that they loan $1 trillion to a third world country, right? Mm-hmm. And they say this is going to help expand your economy and whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Well, then these people get the money. Typically, the leaders of these countries are corrupt. They spend the money frivolously, don't really do what they're supposed to do with it. They fall on their face with the loans. Mm-hmm. And then because they can't pay back the loan with money, these corporations come in and start stealing their resources.
Yeah, that's awful.
It is awful. It's awful. But it takes two to tango.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they really give a shit, though.
No, they don't give a shit. They're there for the money. I mean, it's greed.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a problem. It's a problem. I mean, it is, yeah. I'm not sitting over here. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate.
No, I appreciate
and this is literally like the devil's advocate. Like, But I'm trying to play devil's advocate because I cannot.
It's a very positive way to look at it.
I can't even pretend for a minute that if I was in this situation, I wouldn't do it. Mm-hmm. It's total, utter bullshit. I would.
Really?
Yeah, really? Are you kidding with me? Because, look, in a way, it's like
you
gambling.
Would loan them money.
This is like gambling in a way.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
And if they fell on their face, you would go in and take their things and make their economy worse.
Got to get your money back somehow.
But it's almost like you're setting them up for that.
Yeah, I agree with you that it's almost like setting people up for failure, but that's...
I don't believe for a second you would do that.
I mean, I would definitely...
I think you're just all hyped up right now on your new meds.
Jesus Christ.
I do. I really don't think you would ever do that.
I wouldn't probably be like that brutal about it. I'm just saying that I can understand the potential. And you, okay.
Yeah.
But you also have to look at it. Yeah, you also have to look at it like this. Like, nothing happens overnight. This is a gradual growth into this, right?
Definitely.
They've essentially had 300 years to get to the point of running things like this. Mm-hmm. They start out slow. It's like a junkie. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You start hitting the needle once a week. And then you're like, damn, I would really like to do it on both days of the weekend. And then after you do that for a few weeks, you're like, damn, if I just do it Wednesday through Sunday, it's not that big of a deal, And then pretty soon you're shooting up every goddamn day.
Yeah, I mean, it probably does feel really like exhilarating to have that much power and control over people. I would only imagine.
I mean, maybe.
That's what you're just saying.
Well, I'm just saying that, like, dude, it's like, okay, here's an example. There's that fucking doctor. I can't remember what his name is, but there was a fucking doctor who literally was misdiagnosing people with cancer. And shit like that.
Yeah, I hate that guy.
Yeah,
that guy sucks.
Saying that they actually had cancer when they didn't, that they need to do all this treatment and all this stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
But he was responsible for like hundreds or thousands of people either dying or from losing their homes from having to refinance their houses and taking out second mortgages and all this shit. But when he did it, the first time he did it, it wasn't like he was just like, I have this diabolical plan to ruin thousands of people's lives.
That doesn't justify shit, though.
It doesn't justify it, but everything is a slippery slope. And it's like the person, okay, another example. The person that steals $5 from a cash register on a Monday, and then a couple weeks later, like, fuck, I want like a pack of beer or
Yeah,
something.
I already did it.
What? Oh, yeah, I thought that you were saying that you did it. I was like, what? Why would you do that?
No, I mean, I get that. Like,
Yeah.
Like they think that's not a big deal.
Yeah, they did
it.
it. Well, I've already done it, and I got away with it. It was easy, so
yeah, it wasn't that bad.
I'll take 15 out, and I'll just replace it next week.
But I mean, at the end of the day, though, if you're causing that much disruption for other people, I just feel like you should fucking pay some sort of price. Like,
yeah,
you know, that's my only problem with these kinds of people.
What,
is that
they
never have repercussions because they have so much goddamn money.
I don't know, man. They're pretty
Maybe
fucked up.
I'm wrong.
They have a pretty fucked up public perception.
Yeah. Okay.
That's gotta suck. I mean, okay, so
it's gotta suck for people like David.
I don't think he's regretting it. I think he lives a pretty damn good life.
That's what I'm saying. The perception of him has gotta suck because he's actually doing good for the world.
I think that most people actually probably look at him as a good guy. Don't you think so?
I would hope so.
Well, actually, there's a lot of conspiracy behind. They say that he's just trying to save the world so that he can control it.
Well, I guess I mean, the only time I've seen him in a bad light is the Alex Jones interview.
Yeah. That was crazy.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen that interview, you should definitely watch it.
It's pretty funny.
It is hilarious.
Yeah, anyway.
I've never seen, or I guess heard, I've never heard someone get so upset for no reason. I mean, like, literally, it was just crazy.
That's his whole thing.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah, so, where
were we even at? What were we just talking about?
I don't know.
Huh.
Well, so, what kind of stuff do you think that, what kind of good stuff,
What?
The good stuff.
The good stuff.
Yeah,
they gave us parks, like national parks.
Okay. What other? I mean, like, what, dude? Here's the thing: is everybody focuses on their role in the monetary system. Everybody focuses on this, but they do some pretty cool shit.
Yeah, they do some cool shit. I think I mean, like, I totally get what you're saying. The negative attitude towards Russell Brand is that he's a hypocrite because he spends money and he drives a nice car or whatever.
Well, he is a hypocrite.
What?
I'm just kidding.
We're all fucking hypocrites.
No, I know. I'm just kidding.
We're all hypocrites.
Nah, he'd be the first one to tell you. I mean.
Well, yeah, and what he says, I mean, that shouldn't discredit the truth that he's saying, No,
not at all.
So.
Yeah, I remember, like, when I got really obsessed with the Rothschild family, and I was trying to find them on Facebook. You remember?
Oh my God, you did.
I found
that
one
girl.
of them. Yeah,
she didn't show her face.
She never showed her face
you were
in any of the
with
pictures.
Her, probably because she drove nice cars and wore heels.
Dude. She had a Pagani Zonda.
There's like that picture of her in her high heels, like in the clutch or whatever.
Yeah, so good. She's a lesbian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you loved her. Didn't you try to friend her?
I did friend her.
You did? Did she friend you back?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, but I don't think that she would, like, really was my friend.
You didn't talk to her though.
No, she didn't like me.
She actually accepted your friend request?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, seriously.
Really?
Yeah, she had tons of friends and stuff, but she got so much hate mail every day.
Oh,
I mean, like,
got
comments and shit like that.
I mean, dude, she wouldn't even show her face.
Yeah, but I thought it was. What I was gonna say though is, like, I always wondered what a Rothschild would do. They got all the money.
Yeah.
What would they do? And then I saw what she did, and I was like, God damn, I would do that too. All she did was drive badass fucking cars and sell them. But, another interesting fact is, like, a lot of times I would see her selling cars, and they were all bulletproof.
What?
Yeah, she had, like, bulletproof modifications on them because she was so worried about going out in public.
Whoa, that sucks.
That sucks.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad.
I mean, I do too. It's sad. It's sad that these fucking people feel like they can't go out in public.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
just because your great whatever was a douche.
Even if you're a douche, you shouldn't have to be worried about murder.
Really?
Yeah.
No matter what? No matter how big of a douche you were?
Almost no matter what.
Whatever. You say stuff like that all the time.
Yeah, I know. I'm a hypocrite. But Yeah, I do think that it's cool to talk about like what they do today, you know?
There's just so I don't know why we're so fascinated by them anyways, but we have been for a
Well,
while.
dude, I mean, they're the most powerful
They're
family in the
so
world.
interesting.
Yeah.
Is it just because they have so much money? And
Well,
they're so involved, and so many animals are named after them, and so many, like, there's a Rothschild giraffe that's endangered right now.
yeah,
There's only
sure
like
they'll
a
figure it
thousand
out.
of them.
They'll figure it out.
Yeah, but I mean, they're so, like, they're everywhere. They're so influential.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think the reason that I'm intrigued by them is because I absolutely admire their banking skills. I mean, I'm serious, dude. It takes so much genius like that. That's genius on a whole nother level. And they were inbred. They were inbred geniuses.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, it's genius. I just couldn't see myself doing some of these things.
Yeah.
But maybe if I had their life, maybe I would.
Oh no, if you had their life, you definitely would, because you would be them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, dude. Is like you can't ever judge. Like you can't judge.
You're so sweet.
Well, you can't judge someone just because of their faults. Like
You're right.
I've
no.
done fucked up shit in my life, and like everybody works past it in their own way. And I'd like to say that, you know, someone like David de Rothschild, who is an extremely large activist for global warming or weather, climate control, whatever you want to fucking call it, climate change.
He's an eco warrior.
Yeah, he is. And he's a beautiful goddamn man.
He's very handsome.
He's very handsome.
And he's very sweet.
And
I like him.
Yeah, and he's doing a lot of good shit. And I feel bad because I was listening to a podcast with him recently, and he was basically saying how he has a hard time feeling as compassionate about it as he used to, because he just has, it's like our current administration doesn't give a shit. He sees all these countries that are continuing to right these wrongs with our ecosystem.
Yeah.
And like, no matter what your opinion is on global warming or climate change or, you know, whatever, we really need to get our shit together.
Yeah.
There is a plastic island.
Yeah.
You know, that's bigger than the state of fucking Texas out there.
Yeah, that's what that whole plastic ship thing was for.
Yeah,
was
plastiki.
It was for that great, whatever, the Great Pacific rubbish.
Yeah.
I don't know
That's
what it's actually called.
Probably how he would say it, because he's from England, but so, and then there's also other Rothschild. There's, you know, God, hang on, I have
Great Pacific Garbage Patch.
Yeah.
Several hundred miles in diameter. Whoa.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, it's killing seabirds, fish, like
porpoises. They're getting their fucking throats.
It's bad, y'all.
Clogged. Yeah.
Stop using single.
Serving.
Well, that too. I got it mixed up there. Stop using plastic bags for a single item. That's ridiculous.
No need for Keurig.
Yeah, I mean, stop using straws, but bring your own water bottle.
I'm guilty though. I do use Keurig occasionally.
What?
I mean, sometimes.
You do?
Yeah, you know, like if I'm at like a tire shop and they have a Keurig machine, I'm trying to pass time.
Just don't do it though.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm a hypocrite.
I'm not trying to say be perfect.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like once you get in the habit of it, it's so like it's
I'm
just.
Gonna say
it's
be
just
perfect,
your habit.
So
it's not like it's just like there's no questions about it. You know.
Yeah.
I'm not perfect either.
You're not. I hate to tell you, you're not. But we'll pretend we are. Because right now we're whatever you guys want us to be.
I wanted that long awkward pause. How are we wrapping it up? Or I kind of feel like, are you done talking? Do you have more to say?
Yeah, there's a couple more things I want to say.
Go for it.
So there's currently David de Rothschild. I want to talk about the current, you know, family and like what they're up to. There's a lot of different family members, obviously. There's something we really got to touch up on though.
What?
That crazy bitch.
What crazy bitch?
That crazy bitch that
oh, that one
that was in the Camelot documentary.
Okay, guys, we are gonna link. Can we do that? Should I not promise it?
I'll put some. Yeah, we'll do it on our Instagram at Mindmeltpodcast. But I'll put some clips. I'll edit in some clips.
Yeah,
of this
that's all I want. Just edit in some
podcast.
clips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
she claims to be. Should we tell them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. She claims
Absolutely.
to be a Rothschild.
Yeah.
from a different dimension.
Yeah.
And Eric and
only
I,
in one of the interviews, because in another interview she claimed something completely different. But
Eric and I are just convinced that she wants some moolah
or something. She just
I don't
wants
even
attention.
know how you can't get money from that.
Yeah, she just wants attention. Well, I mean, you can, because they pay her to come and talk at these stupid conspiracy events. This chick, she's on a Camelot Project documentary. She claims to be a Rothschild, but in the documentary she says that I'm a Rothschild, but that's not what's on my birth certificate. What's on my birth certificate is a completely different name.
No, she's definitely lying.
Yeah, and then
like you could tell she's actually lying. Like, okay, so there's crazy people, and then there's people who are lying for attention. She definitely doesn't believe what she's saying. You could tell. She's definitely
But that's
lying.
still kind of crazy.
I mean, oh yeah, it's its own kind of crazy. I just mean like crazy in a way that you actually believe what you're saying, and you actually believe that you're from a different dimension. I shouldn't even say the word crazy. I should just say, like, maybe that's a good word. I don't know. But she's definitely not telling the truth, and she knows it.
Yeah. I find it to be fascinating that people get so engrossed with the story of the Rothschild family, and they want to believe a conspiracy so bad that they'll take this fake ass girl who's clearly bullshitting everybody, and they'll make her famous.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, the interviewer, like, when they were asking her questions, this girl's like, yeah, I'm a Rothschild, but I'm not a part of the family in this realm. My father and I walked over from a different dimension. And then she's like, I was a part of MK Ultra. And then she's like, yeah, she said that. And then she said, my father was underneath this scientist, and I was in the White House during like the Clinton administration, and I met Bill, and he sat me on his lap, and like she says all this stupid creepy
on
shit.
His lap.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, if you're going to come out and say that you're a part of a conspiracy, just stick to one. Okay?
Yeah.
Later on in that same interview, she's talking about how she's half reptilian.
Yeah, you just can't believe everything on the internet, folks.
No. Yeah, there is not one person that's half reptilian, half angel. She said that she came down to this dimension as an angel. Then she said that she had a part of, I can't remember the guy's name, the one that wrote the Book of Satan or the Satanic Bible.
Yeah.
Can't remember his fucking name right now. But she said that she talks to him through like wavelengths or some shit. I mean, dude, if you just came out and said that you're a part of Rothschild family and they disowned you and they're a bunch of creepy fucks, I would be on board. But the second that you start saying that you're like a fucking alien and a shapeshifter, and that you are a part of MK Ultra, and you're also a part of the Rothschild family, and you're also a part of the Sinclair family, and that your cousin, she said that her cousin was a Rockefeller. So it's like, and she said her Rockefeller cousin has tried to kill her several times. It's like, how many conspiracies can you be a part of? Like, you're one person. You can't just, she like probably sat at home one night, Googled every fucking conspiracy theory that there was, and then wrote a small biography, and then just started learning it and lied to everybody.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah.
And then I thought it was funny too, because the whole time that I'm listening to this, I was talking to my coworker. I was listening to it in my headphones at work, and I was telling my coworker, I was like, this bitch is so crazy. I was like, I bet that she's using this because she wants to fuck dudes or something. And then, like, not even 10 minutes later in the interview, she said something about how she dealt with all of this trauma was that she was really promiscuous and that she cheated on her husband a bunch. And she's like, but he understands that it's just because of my past. And I was like, what? Then I was like, maybe this bitch invented this entire fucking story so that.
Can we ease up on the B word? Holy hell. I've never heard you say that word so many times in an hour.
I don't even know. I just can't believe that somebody would go out like this. She pisses me off more than most.
Holy moly.
Kim Kardashian, I would kick it with Kim Kardashian for hours before I'd hang out with her.
Wow.
Yeah, hours. And Kanye too. Tell him how much I love Trump. No, I don't love Trump. And I don't agree with you, Kanye. Sorry. So that's one of the quote unquote Rothschilds in the current time. Another one is Evelyn Rothschild. He's the chairman of many companies, including The Economist, British Merchant Banking Securities, Milton Keynes Development, United Resources, and the director of De Beers Mines and IBM UK. So he was the head of a bunch of different large corporations. And the Milton Keynes Development, they did a lot of international developing and things like that. So it's kind of cool. Here's what I'm going to say from a real standpoint. Like, I know that I've been kind of fucking around a lot about this, but I do think it's important that when you look at a family like this, there might be some people that are trying to do things wrong, unethically. But there's also going to be a lot of people in the family that are trying to do things right. And
yeah, it's just like any family.
And like,
so they're all born with that innate like desire to conquer the world and hurt people.
Yeah, but I mean, like, they are huge controlling factors of the monetary system in the world.
Absolutely.
Right? But that's not a bad thing. They've worked their asses off to get there. And they just have that wealth. I mean, and they do good things with it. I mean, they really do.
I don't think anyone is like debating that they don't do good things or that them having wealth is not like a good thing. It's just more so, the bad parts that have come with it and the bad intentions and the manipulation and all that.
Do you know how many times in conversation I've heard the people blame the Rothschild family?
No.
For something?
No, really?
Oh, all the time. I just told you a story about how I was at the Survival Enterprise store and someone blamed the Rothschilds for weed being illegal.
What?
Seriously.
If that's true, I don't like them anymore. Just kidding.
I mean, it's crazy to me that
everyone wants to blame everyone else.
And nobody wants to blame their fucking self.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a big problem because we are everybody.
Yeah.
What? Nothing. So, do you have any other things that you'd like to say?
No, I think I'm good.
All right. Well, what are we going to do next week?
I don't know. We haven't really talked about it.
I think we should do Flat Earth.
You think we should do Flat Earth?
I think we should do Flat Earth.
Oh. You really want to do Flat Earth?
I want to do Flat Earth.
Dang, dude. Okay. We can do Flat Earth. Eric's been dying to do Flat Earth. He's been dying to do a podcast for the last 7 years, so he's finally got what he wanted.
Flat Earth has been high up on my list.
All right, let's do Flat Earth.
So,
thanks for listening, everyone.
We'll be back next Sunday for sure. 100% sure.
Yeah, we're definitely going to record Sunday.
And we're going to talk about Flat Earth, and I'm really excited to expose you guys to the truth that you've all been missing. The Earth is round. All right. So thanks so much for listening. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. And I know it's kind of all over the place, but this family's all over the place, and this story is all over the place. And I really just wanted to touch up on that there's good and bad in everything. Yep.
Yeah. I learned a lot today.
The next time that you want to blame the Rothschilds for anything, blame your goddamn self, because you contribute to the society.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Good night.
Good night. We love you.
Aaron Green Hicks.
Okay.
And my real last name would be Rothschild if I had stayed in the family. When I was born, they put me they took my father and I and put us outside of the family. And my father was the head of the military shadow government, and he put me into MK Ultra. They took us out of the family so that I could be in these programs. Okay. My father's a Rothschild, my mother was a Sinclair. He had to deal with time travel. He dealt with MK, all the Black Ops programs at the time, from the 1940s until the 1970s. we walked over here from another dimension, my father and I. So the Rothschild bloodline that I am from is from the other dimension. I am not from the Rothschild bloodline from over here. I couldn't understand why I was promiscuous. I'm in extreme danger. I'm already followed. I'm chased on the freeways in San Diego. I have a brother who's a Rockefeller, and I will not say his name. I refuse to say his name because he calls hits on me all the time.